Welcome back to Stooge Stream for another episode. I am your host, the Stooge, and this is the top 5 G.I Joe action figures I added to my collection this year. I am going to be a little bit quieter this episode because my wife's still asleep, so you will need to turn this one up. I do apologize. There is going to be one honorable mention. So the honorable mention, of course, is Snake Eyes. The box is a little bit damaged, I don't care, but this is a very, very cool figure. Unfortunately, it's not an original figure, but it is a really cool re-release, and I really like it, especially with the addition of Shadow. That makes it very, very cool. But in that theme, we're going to go to number 5. And number 5 on the list is Mutt and Junkyard. This is another re-release figure, but there's just something about the detail of this figure that I really, really like. I'm not even a dog person, I'm a cat person, but I really like the detail on that. I believe it's a Doberman, possibly. And the detailing on the actual figure itself. Like his little vest and, you know, his dog handler collar thing. It's a very cool figure. I really, really like it. I like the level of detail that they put into it. Now, the rest of them, it was hard to toss up between these 4, other than one of them. Which one was going to be in 4th, 3rd, and 2nd place. So these can be all interchangeable. Let me just move this back so we got a little bit more room there. Like, literally any of these could have been in any position, but we'll go with number 4. Dr. Mindbender. So this is an original Dr. Mindbender with his felt cape. Now his Cobra symbols have fallen off, but I do have it. So I will probably use some material glue to put that on. This is another one where just the level of detail in the figure is amazing, especially something that comes from the 80s. This little gun holster there. Focus. The color scheme of purple and black, overall I think this just works really, really well. He's just a really cool looking bad guy. He's quite intimidating with his very 70s mustache. Now Cobra seems to be well represented on this list as well. So next up is Destro. Again, I think the paintwork on this figure is excellent. The red and black motif. Of course, this comes from the animated series and the comics, which I'm a fan of. But the silver head paint is really great. The actual head sculpt is fantastic. Let me just move his gun out. The little intricacies and details, like the little bits of his costume there, and you know, his chest medallion and so forth, just overall make this just a fantastic detailed figure. Number 2. Now, if we had Snake Eyes, we have to have Storm Shadow. And even though Snake Eyes was just an honorable mention, Storm Shadow is definitely one of my favorite figures. From the all white of his costume to the red, Cobra symbol on his arm, his bow and arrow, his sword, which you can pull in and out of his backpack, so it's got storage for you not to lose it. It just overall, his face design is fantastic. And again, he's a ninja. I was born in the 80s. We love ninjas. And he just looks awesome. Now finally, without a shadow of a doubt, this is my favorite figure now in my G.I Joe collection overall, let alone my favorite figure that I got this year. This is one that I've always wanted and never got as a child. Never bought as a teenager either for some reason. So now, of course, as an adult, when you have money and disposable income, I spent it on Sergeant Slaughter. I'm a huge wrestling fan, as well as a G.I Joe fan, so come on. Classic WWE or WWF then at the time, rock and roll era Sergeant Slaughter, who was actually a member of the G.I Joe and voiced his own character. How can he not be, oh, the number one? He does have a little problem standing up because his chest is so big. So they are the top 5 G.I Joe figures that I added to my collection this year. Are you a G.I Joe collector? What are the favorite figures that you've added to your collection this year? I'd like to know. Comment below. What did you think? Do you think there are better versions of these characters? Because I know there's 50 different versions of every character. I know there's a different version of Sergeant Slaughter I want with the USA top. And there's a different version of Destro that I want as well. But what are your favorite versions of these characters? Let me know below. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget, adventure, excitement, Stooge craves not these things. Welcome to the Stooge Revolution.